Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.
You are going to come under some pressure. You're going to hear all kinds of propaganda. You're going to hear all kinds of lies and deception. There will be tactics used to try and buy you out. There will be tactics used to try and frighten you away. And I only have to say one thing to you tonight, comrades. We are blood and fire comrades. And we're marching on to progress. And we will stand firm. We will not be bought because we are not for sale.
Good morning, everybody. Now this is part 2 of the meeting that went on in East St. Andrew, where Patricia, Duncan, Sutherland will be the next member of parliament. But this time is Mr. Golding there giving his speech. So I want you all to listen up and, listen to every word that he's saying, because what he's saying is very uplifting. So thank you, and please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thanks again.
Eastern St. Andrew, Patricia, Duncan, Sutherland. Big up comrade Patricia, comrade Julian Robinson, who are all candidates for the next general election. Big up Sister Bev, Beverly Manley Duncan. Salute to the movement. All distinguished comrades, the mayor of Kingston, Comrade Slavey. Workers and warriors, foot soldiers, supporters, who there this evening. Yeah, man, I feel the vibes. I feel the energy. I feel the love. Yeah, man, it's nice. Yeah, it's nice, man. People, Eastern St. Andrew is where I born and grew. I born in that hospital right there, so University Hospital. The road to that hospital named after my father. Golden Avenue. Yeah, man. Carried out to the Sir John Golden Rehab Center. The school beside that center is where Julian went to school and Michael Phillips too. Hope Valley Experimental School. College Common was where I grew up. Eastern, which is now the football academy. It's I build that field. Yeah, man, right down beside the Preston Hall and Nettleford Hall right there, so. Yeah, man. It was just pure push. I would buy some stone rake and spend months preparing that field. I used to play ball. For 2 decades we play ball there every weekend. Man from Augustine, man from Hermitage, man from Marlborough. And I've put up a couple of them today still. In them green shirts in Hermitage. And Mr. Wayne, are you that? And then help me up saying Wayne. And they say, you don't know, you have to make little money. So yeah, man, not wrong, make your money here, sir. Which is now the football. Anyway, people, it's good to be here. God knows. And everywhere I go across Jamaica, the people them show me how they love. They're happy to see me. And after nearly 10 years of this government, I think one of the biggest things is their sense of disappointment in this government. Disappointment in Andrew as a man who promised so much and delivered so little. And they want a government, they want politicians who don't just promise things to win favor, to get people to vote. They want people who promise things because they intend to deliver on their promises. And they can be relied on. Because those promises just didn't come out of a hat to sound good and try and attract votes. But those promises are based on a plan. A plan to uplift the country. A plan to develop the nation. And that is what the People's National Party is seeking to do. So I'm not running around giving everybody a whole bag of promises. I'm telling you what our plans are. And we are going to ensure that every child who goes to school, primary or secondary, and is in need, will get a free nutritious meal every day at school. And for rural families who are struggling with the cost of transportation, 20,000 families we will start it with. We have the ride program. So taximan and busman will get the subsidy so the children don't have to bear the full fare and the families can afford to send their children to school. We're not bringing out a whole bus so they never drive on a hill yet. With the schools can't afford to maintain. We're going to empower the taximan and the busman them. In the same way that we're going to empower the farmers to deliver the food that we're going to feed the children. Good, nutritious Jamaican food. And we are going to ensure that every child who goes to school, we have a great plan for housing. We have been after the last 10 years, the government has performed so badly when it comes to affordable housing for the people. There's been a construction boom, but it's for people who have money, people who done set already. What about the people who can't afford a house and want a house? What about them? Well, the People's National Party cares about you. That is what we are here for, to deliver solutions to make your lives better. And we plan to build 50,000 houses over the first 5 years. We're identifying the land already. And we're going to make those lands available for development. And we're not going to charge the value of the land in the price of the house. So you're going to get a more affordable house. So when you buy, the day you buy that house, you'll be a richer person because you own the land that is part of that house and they won't have to pay for it. We have a great plan for housing. House, because they don't know how you're going to afford the deposit if you've been in the NHP for 2 years. We are going to establish a fund within the NHP that will provide you with free grants. You don't have to pay back $500,000 to cover your deposit so you can step up in life and own your own home. And we have the rent-to-own plan. The rent-to-own plan is this: if you can't prove your income because you don't get a formal pay slip, you might be hustling for yourself. You might have your little business. Or you might be working for somebody, but they're not a big employer, they don't generate, they don't have no big accounting department for generating a pay slip. So you can't show your income. We will say, hey, you can go into the house, the NHP house that we're building, as a tenant. And if you can show that you're making the monthly payments equivalent to the mortgage, after a short period of time, we're thinking of 6 months, we'll say, yeah, that proves your income. You don't need a pay slip. You can get the mortgage and you can step up from being a tenant to being an owner. And for all those people who live on government land and have lived on government land for long periods of time, we're going to ensure that you get the right to acquire that land and become an owner with a title of that land. And we're going to do it on reasonable terms. So we want a house because they don't know the things that we have been penetrating. And these are things that we intend to do for the people. And when you look at other aspects of it, beaches, we want to ensure that the people of the country can have access to the beautiful beaches of the country. And we're going to work out how we do that. Work with the hotel sector. We don't want to disrupt the health sector, the tourism industry. No, we're going to partner with them. But the people must come first and the people must have access to beaches in this country. It happens in every other Caribbean country. Why it can't happen in Jamaica? We're not good enough to our own beaches. No, nothing of us up. So comrades, these are some of the things we want to do. I've always been a believer in social transformation. That's why I asked Patricia to shadow it, because she's a believer in it also. She's also a believer in it. When I was Minister of Justice, I said, Lord have mercy. Look how much youth face pressure from the police for a little draw of weed or a split. And I said, no, we're going to decriminalize personal use of ganja. So them can't arrest and charge you for a split or a draw of weed or even a chalice. And if you have a police record for personal use from before, you have a right to get it expunged. So you can travel, go a foreign, or you can work in the public sector, which is before it was denied to anybody who had a little criminal record for possession of a little dry weed. The things that we have done, and we developed the ganja industry as a lawful industry for medical and therapeutic ganja. But the labor right, them take it and them wreck it. And we have to fix it now. Because small farmers must have a place in that industry. They're the ones who build the brand. Rastafari build the brand too. And they must have a special place for Maroons too. Indigenous groups must be respected as part of the constitutional reform of the country. So people have a whole heap of good ideas. And all of our ideas about empowering the mass of the people. And of course the business community don't have to fret. Because we're going to ensure that the bureaucracy is as efficient as it can be. I personally am going to put that as my portfolio, making government more efficient. I'm going to chair a task force, a working group with the right people on it, so that if all the rules of government that make life frustrating for people who deal with government and don't make no sense, we're going to cut out those things and we're going to deal with the things in a way that people can say, yeah, Jamaica's a good place to do business. Jamaica's a place where you can get through fast. Jamaica's a place where you have to spend a bag of money to do something where shouldn't cost enough for money. That is what we are about. So the business community can thrive and can invest in the country. And for the small business and the startup business, we're going to develop a special set of rules for you. We're not going to charge any income tax on the business for the first 3 years of operations. And we develop the ganja industry as a health sector, and tell me that sales are down. When I talk to officials in the government, they say tax revenue is down. We're in a slump. This government doesn't know how to grow the economy. Because this government doesn't realize that the key to it is to build the human capital and to ensure that the bureaucracy works for the people. Foreign direct investment in the country is about a third of where it was when we were last in government. The productivity of the country has fallen. If you look at the total output, national output, divided by the number of workers, that number has been coming down. That means less productive. All of those things mean that the Jamaica Labour Party is not delivering progress. And we have to change that. So, the question now is, how do we change that? And that's where you come in, my people. That's where you come in. We know so we're ready, you know. We know so we want to see the change, you know. You know, so you want a government that can be proud of a government that is not here to rip and scrape. A government that is here to make the people's life better. A government that can have trust and confidence in. And all them are going and them are delay and them are put it back and put it back. The end of this government is nigh. It is coming. Them can't escape it. And comrades, when the health sector and tell me that sales are down, the labor I can dance to it, and I love it too. Before you have to be silent. The labor I can dance to it, and I love it too. Before you have to be silent.